Hey, we have a podcast.
We do?
I think so. What's this?
That'll explain the microphone and the camera. All right, cool. I think I can do that.
Nothing needs to explain the soda, though.
No, that's because I'm tired.
So welcome to our first podcast.
You're also drinking one because I'm tired.
That's true. I really shouldn't be drinking one because I have to sleep in 3 hours.
Yeah, whatever.
Cool. I just banged on the table like we discussed not doing.
Yep.
We're good at this.
I have paper.
Yep.
They bang on the table too.
I like banging on the table. So, you don't know anything about our podcast. This is the way it's going to work. We have 6 segments. They're going to release between Monday and Saturday. And then you'll find an entire podcast all in one video on Sundays. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the way it's going to work. Right now, today...
Question.
Yes.
To clarify. Now, is it release one on Sunday and then it gets split up for the next 5 days and then a new one on the next Sunday?
No.
Or is it, okay, so all 5 parts and then a compiled one on Sunday?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah.
Just making sure everybody knows so they know what to look for.
Alrighty. So, the first one that we're talking about today, we're talking about our favorite movies of 2015. And that's a thing. Would you like to go first?
I saw like 6 movies last year.
Easy to choose then.
2 of them were terrible.
Perfect.
I can't even do a top 5.
Top 4 it is.
All right, cool. Well, you know what? In no particular order just yet. I'm just gonna go down this list. I think it's like chronological or something like that. Anyway, good and bad points about each, whatever, right? So like the 6 movies that I actually saw in 2015. I saw Age of Ultron. Not as good as the first Avengers, still a pretty good movie. That's about it. Jurassic World. Man, I like that movie.
I like that movie too.
It was good. It was good. I mean, like, I was always a big fan of Jurassic Park, and this is the best Jurassic Park movie since Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So, good on ya.
Yeah.
Then there was Terminator Genesis, which I made the mistake of seeing.
I actually haven't seen it yet. I'm still wanting to see it. But...
I've got a copy of it. You can watch it anytime.
Okay.
Okay. I saw Ant-Man.
That was great.
Ant-Man was very good. It was better than I expected it to be.
Better than everyone expected it to be.
Mm-hmm. Then I saw Fant4stic. Then we saw Fant4stic.
We saw Fant4stic.
And that...
It was regrettable.
Yeah. That was one of those things where it's like, you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? But then we went and saw fucking Force Awakens. So, you know... Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. We'll talk about that
next
time.
We'll get to that. So that's like all of the movies. I mean, obviously I watched a bunch of like, you know, other stuff, but like that's all the movies that came out last year that I saw last year. I kind of missed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Mostly because people just saw them without me. You know who you are.
Salty.
A little.
Okay, well, I guess my favorite movies, I actually put the time to do the homework in, and I organized them, and I also saw more. So, number 5, I put Force Awakens. I thought it was great. I've never been much of a Star Wars guy, and we can talk more about that later. Number 4 was Inside Out. Probably the best Pixar movie ever, and that's even saying a lot. Pixar makes some great stuff, and it was fantastic. I put Ant-Man at number 3, so I did really, really love that.
It was a good movie.
Notably, Age of Ultron didn't make my top 5 list.
Well, I saw it and didn't see much else, so...
Yeah. Number 2 is The Martian, because that was just awesome. And, you know, spending millions of dollars saving Matt Damon again.
They do that a lot.
They do. Why is he so important?
Because he's Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Yeah. And number 1, I put down Mad Max, because I actually saw that movie twice.
I have not had a chance to see it yet.
Dude, man.
I want to. You know what? I've had it queued up for ages. Like, no joke. And I just have not found the time.
Let's watch it. I'll watch it a third time, because it's a great movie.
I don't doubt that for a second.
The guy that made Babe made a great movie.
Stranger things have happened, I'm sure.
Yeah. Also in my honorable mentions, I got Age of Ultron, because I did enjoy it. Tomorrowland, definitely enjoyable. Wasn't amazing or anything, but it was an enjoyable movie. Jurassic World, definitely enjoyable. Again, best one since Jurassic Park.
It really was.
Cinderella, I surprisingly enjoyed. It was a Cinderella movie, the way it should be done, live action.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to. But she's cute. She's super cute. She's a cute one. I also put Hateful Eight down. I haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be on the list once I see it, so yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. That's movies, and that was very, very short.
Yeah, it was a pretty short segment.
Um,
Somehow I don't think our 6 segments are going to work into very good...
well, I was just hoping for at least like 10 to 15 minutes for each.
And this took us how long?
What?
And this took us, what, 5?
Maybe. Something like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't see very many movies.
Yeah, way to go, man.
I don't get out much.
We can't even talk about these movies on my list because you haven't seen them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you haven't seen Terminator Genesis.
I'm not sure if he's crying or laughing.
A little of both.
End segment. Let's just go into Star Wars talk.
Okay, I like Star Wars. I've liked Star Wars since I was like 8 years old because prior to that, my dad loved Star Wars and he'd watch one of them all the time. I don't remember. I have a very, very vague recollection of times when I was like a fucking toddler.
Yeah.
But I do remember that Darth Vader scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, I was terrified of this fucking black masked, heavy breathing, like lightsaber wielding, force choking son of a bitch. I was deathly afraid of that guy.
Yeah.
I was like 1, 2, somewhere around there. I had no idea.
Right.
Whatever, right? But by the time I was 8, I finally put all that, oh man, that guy scares me, behind me. And it was like, fucking, let's watch some fucking Star Wars. So we went and rented like VHSs of the original movies and watched those. And I was like, man, this shit's good as dicks. So, since then I was like, fuck yeah, Star Wars. And then they were like, hey, Hasbro's doing, or sorry, Kenner? Was it still Kenner? Was Kenner owned by Hasbro by then? I don't remember. Anyway, one of them was like, Power of the Force, Star Wars action figures. And I was like, bitchin', Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, I got a land speeder, so I could do this shit. Me and my friends, we'd fucking gather like Millennium Falcon, Slave One, fucking everything, out in like the yards and shit like that. And we'd have like dirt areas where we'd have like fucking Tatooine type scenes and swamps for like Dagobah, for like Luke and Yoda training and shit. And we'd just have a fucking blast with these things, right? And then they were like, 99 rolled around and they're like, new Star Wars. And I was like, wait, what? Here I am, fucking high school now. I'm like, new Star Wars? Fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Go see the movie. I'm like, man, what the hell was that? And then I got, second. I enjoyed my first viewing of Attack of the Clones, despite thinking the name was stupid.
Yeah.
Right? I enjoyed my first viewing of it mostly because I just kind of like turned my brain off during the Anakin and Padme relationship scenes.
Yeah.
And then
The terrible CGI pair.
we always bring that fucking pair up. It was so bad. And then, I bought maybe a few of the figures because I liked Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, so I had like an Obi-Wan figure. And, I don't think I ever owned a Hayden Christensen figure. Ever. I had some battle droids, though, because I needed, troop builders.
Yeah.
And maybe some clone troopers and shit like that, right? And the third movie, I got a new Obi-Wan from that because, he was getting closer to looking like Alec Guinness. He had the haircut right, and he had the big beard and everything else, right? And it all was going well. And so, that movie, best of the prequels by default, because the previous two were terrible for Revenge of the Sith. That movie was still not great. And then, they had their various, other media and stuff, your Clone Wars cartoon, like the actual cartoon. That was, which was amazing. And then they had the CG one, which a lot of it was really good. But yeah, so now here we are, and they're like, new Star Wars, and there's me, remembering back to when I was in fucking high school, being like, new Star Wars, fuck yeah! And then being like, upon seeing fucking episode 1. And so I'm like, is it gonna happen again? I've been whipped before. Don't want to do it again. But yeah, no, fuck, we went to the theater and it was like, you know what? For for recovering a lot of the fucking plot points of the original movie, just to kind of, be like, hey, we can actually make Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah. My history with Star Wars is I probably saw them as a kid. I loved the idea of like spacefaring and lightsabers and shit like that. Thought it was cool. But I honestly don't really have a memory of super enjoying the original trilogy as a kid.
Ooh, I also played the fuck out of the Super Nintendo games.
That's something I never actually played either. I have them.
Yeah,
but
saying. We'll have to change that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, those games are fucking tough.
Yeah.
Like, those games will fucking kick you in the face and then, like, stick their dick in your teeth or something. I don't know.
That just sounds bad for them.
Well, your teeth are already knocked out by this point.
Oh, just like on the ground.
Yeah, they're just like slapping your teeth around, playing hockey with your teeth. It's a bad analogy. You should never fucking mind.
Moving on. What the fuck was I saying?
I don't know. Dick teeth, the new sport. Star Wars talk. Dick teeth. Whatever.
Yeah, when episode 1 came out, actually, me and my family saw all 3 of the prequels in theaters. And as a kid, I was like, 12 or something when I saw it, maybe even younger. I enjoyed it for what it was. But I remember specifically sitting in the theater watching that pair scene and just being like...
What?
Oh, it's terrible. That was cute, though.
I did watch the special editions of the original trilogy in the theaters as well.
Really?
Yeah. That made me sort of happy because I got to see them, but at the same time, because I had watched the VHSs so many fucking times, all of the new changes to the movie, I was like, the hell is this?
Yeah.
I mean, some of it made sense, like the new flying by scenes of different ships and stuff to, look a little bit better.
It's so out of place for me.
It is.
Like,
it is. It really
even
is.
Even like the little extra creatures on the planets and stuff.
Well, when I was younger, I saw that stuff and I'm like, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. Nowadays, I look at that stuff and I'm like, but the practical effects look so much more real.
Yeah, I would actually not be opposed. I would not be opposed to someone going back with the practical effects they're using now and redoing the redo of the old ones with practical effects, film them on the same type of film they filmed before so it matches up nicely, or at least like filter it or something. Because it was like sort of like this nice 70s film coloring to it, and then fucking bright Jabba in like bright green.
Yeah, I mean, they did reskin him later on to make him look more worn and scaly. Yeah, like, I mean, they went back and fucked with those movies like 4 or 5 times, right? There was like the original like 90s special editions where they used 90s CG to try and kind of, make everything look a little better, and ultimately failed.
Yeah.
But they went back a few more times and they touched up some of the stuff that they'd done in the 90s that didn't look very good. Just to try and kind of like, have one, as George Lucas would have put it, one perfect version of the film, which ultimately the original film was the perfect version of the film. But whatever. Thankfully, George Lucas is, out to pasture now.
Yeah.
Sitting there talking about how Disney's white slavers and stuff like that. He's apologized for that now, but that's still, like...
Wow.
Goddamn.
Anyways, new one's good.
I am surprised. I am legitimately surprised by something.
What's that?
I do not yet own a physical piece of merchandise from the new film. I am a consumer whore.
Yeah, you are.
Right? Like, I consume everything. Yeah, we'll go with that. But I mean, like, I collect, like, fucking toys and shit from, like, everything I see pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. I like a Kamen Rider series. I at least get a figure or a prop replica. Well, not prop replica, like DX toy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I fuck Transformers, all the Transformers, right? Fucking...
all of them.
Yeah. I've got shit from Clone Wars. I've got shit from, like, all kinds of, like, different Star Wars media that's released, like, good figures and stuff. I own sonic screwdrivers from Doctor Who. I don't own a damn thing from The Force Awakens except those fucking Subway cups. All I've got.
All of those, though.
I do have all of those, and I'm working on getting multiples of the Stormtroopers so I can have an army of Stormtrooper cups. Dude, I don't know why.
We could have, like, how many...
Stormtrooper beer pong.
I was just gonna say, like, you could have, like, Stormtroopers on one side and, like, the good side of the cast on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, there's Chewie, Rey, Finn, BB-8, and that's 4 of the 6 cups. Other than that, we've got, the Troopers and Kylo Ren.
And Kylo Ren would be at the front of the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed there's no Captain Phasma cup. Also no Han Solo cup. Also no Poe Dameron cup.
Oh, yeah. That seems like one that would be in there.
Yeah.
I can understand the Phasma one because she was there for about 45 seconds.
Oh, I hope she comes back, though.
Oh, I'm sure she will be.
But yeah, like when we were in the Disney store the other day, you weren't there, but
I was not there.
No, but we went to the Disney store. They've got these like Elite Series die-cast figures.
I think I saw those, yeah.
They're like fucking like that big or something like that, but they're heavy as fuck, right? Because a lot of them is like die-cast construction,
Right.
Which I'm not usually a big fan of. There was this thing called the Titanium line in Transformers where they used a bunch of die-cast and shit, and it was kind of fucking terrible.
Right.
But I feel like toy engineering nowadays is maybe a bit better than back in those days. And I mean, they looked okay. The sculpting looked okay. The accessories looked okay. Everything like that, right? And plus, they were nice and fucking hefty. I kind of really wanted the Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like a character that large in bulky armor should be that fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Right? And also, they had like first order stormtroopers and stuff. And I would love to. I mean, they're like fucking $25-$30 a pop, though. There's no way in hell I'm going to be buying a whole bunch of those, right?
Yeah.
I really want to find like.
Do they have all the characters in that?
They have. Hashtag where's Rey?
Seriously?
They have one. It does exist. There just weren't any at the store.
They probably all sold out. That's probably why.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking. The thing is, like, not to completely skew off topic, but that fucking where's Rey hashtag they've got trending about, all these Star Wars figures, no Rey merchandise. Blah, blah, blah. You know why that is, right?
Must have been all sold out.
Not even just all sold out. Like, she is surprisingly, because the trailers would never fucking, allude to it, basically the protagonist. She is
for sure.
Yeah,
I never had a
right?
second doubt about that.
Yeah, the trailers all make it out to be like, oh, Finn's this big deal and everything, and Rey's just kind of along for the ride. But then she fucking takes the reins. She's like, no, I'm fucking top dog in this fucking movie. I'm the best.
Well, she's the Luke of the movie.
Yeah, she's awesome. Like, there's no disputing. She's awesome. Her toys are obviously the most popular because she's strong female character, fucking Star Wars, first ever, like, female lead for a Star Wars, like, everything, right? Like, So her toys are the most popular, the most sought after. And that's where toy scalpers come in. These are people who, like, will memorize the restock schedules of stores so that they can get in before shit is even unpacked and put out on the shelves. Go to the stock room and be like, hey, you got any of these? Cool, I'll take all of them.
Yeah.
Right? And then fucking hawk them for fucking twice, 3 times what they're fucking worth on eBay or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so people are going around and they're all like just assuming that these figures aren't there. And they're, searching Target, they're searching Toys R Us, they're searching Walmart, they're searching everything, right? And they're not finding any of these fucking Reys, and they're just assuming that they don't exist. Assuming that the character of Rey has been effectively issued from all fucking toy merchandise, right? Like, yeah, she's not in the Millennium Falcon set. That is a disappointment. Absolutely. She's not in that 6-pack of figures, but I mean, you need a mix of good and bad people, right? And it's got, what is it? Got like fucking Chewbacca, Finn. I don't fucking remember. Rey could have been in it, but they could have easily like swapped her out for someone else. Whatever. There are single-carded figures of Rey. There are higher articulation figures of Rey. They're all out there. And just as I was saying with these fucking diecast figures, the figure of Rey does not exist. Does exist. I did not fucking see one.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of Finns, saw a bunch of Kylo Rens masked and unmasked, saw fucking Phasma, Stormtroopers, Flame Troopers, right? Like, I saw Poe Dameron, I saw all of these. Did not see a single Rey. The figure comes packaged with BB-8 as well, which is another thing to fucking bump up the popularity, right?
Right.
You want to get BB-8, you want to get Rey, so you get them both in the same fucking package, and those sell immediately.
Definitely, yeah.
Right?
BB-8's probably actually the most popular.
Oh yeah, easily. That's why they made a fucking Sphero app controlled droid of him.
Yeah.
Which, I kind of would like to get, but at the same time, I kind of just don't use my phone for shit like that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. But anyway, my point is that the Where's Ray hashtag is just kind of... Not everything's being taken into account. People are just kind of taking what they see at face value and just assuming that the things don't exist because they can't find them.
I think it's less about that. I know for certain there's people that don't realize that when there's no Ray in the store, that doesn't mean she didn't exist. I know that there are people genuinely believe that. But I think it still is important, simply from the perspective that a lot of toys will just not have the female characters in, like Black Widow being completely absent and that sort of thing. So
yeah, the only time that Black Widow, for instance, got any fucking love in anything, it was the Lego sets.
Yeah,
and even there, they kept her in, but they swapped her position.
Really?
Yeah. Scene in Age of Ultron where she fucking drops out in the motorcycle and bombs off from the fucking jet, right?
Yeah.
The Lego set does include her, so you can recreate that.
Yeah.
On the package, however, it's got her flying the jet and Captain America on the motorcycle.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, it does include the figure. You can still recreate it how it happened in the movie.
Yeah.
So that's at least a thing.
That is a thing.
The Millennium Falcon set for The Force Awakens from Lego does come with Rey and features her sitting in the fucking pilot seat.
Right.
Right? It's also got Finn in the co-pilot seat, which is weird because it comes with Chewbacca. Whatever. Fucking just whatever. But yeah, no, the thing about it is so many people are getting on this Where's Ray thing, and maybe that means the distribution of the Ray figures might actually increase. Yeah. That'd be nice, so that people will actually find them. I personally would actually like to find, especially the diecast one that comes with BB-8. I would get the shit out of that figure. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Right? But it just kind of bugs me that it just seems to be coming from a position of sort of almost a position of ignorance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was saying.
Ignorant people claiming ignorance on the behalf of others.
Yeah. And there's validity to that, and there's also invalidity to it, given that she's there, but she's so popular that it's selling out, but she's not everywhere she should be. Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely the one is that Millennium Falcon set. She needs to be in that. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Right. But the fact is, the figures exist in multiple scales and multiple price points and multiple levels of articulation, and they're just all gone because everybody is fucking buying them and throwing them. You can go and find one on eBay right now, like the single-carded figure that's like a fucking $10, $12 figure. Yeah. You can go buy one right now on eBay or Amazon if you want to spend $45, $50. Yeah. It's a fucking joke.
Yup.
I'm a toy collector. How can you tell?
So, what brought us into that?
The fact that I don't own a single piece of merchandise from this fucking film.
Oh, yeah.
Because the film is good, and you would think that by now... it's mostly because fucking holiday seasons, being at work all the goddamn time, and when not being at work, being far too fucking broke from everything else to actually go and get something. Yeah. I still haven't even bought anybody any fucking Christmas presents. I'm going to. It's a thing that I'm going to do. It's going to be late, obviously, because it's 2016 now and definitely past Christmas. But, I got to wait for my big paycheck, the one that has both Christmas and New Year's weeks on it, right? Yeah. Where I worked extra hours and shit like that. Yeah. It's fucking tough, especially, the thing that got it was, when my hours got unexpectedly cut down, a lot for November. I gained some of that back in December, but I wasn't really seeing any signs of it. Yeah, because I had everything planned out perfectly, not taking into account that cut, where I would have been able to do Christmas just fine, keep up with all my bills just fine, everything would have been great. Then that shit happened, and then I'm having to fucking pinch money from here and there, right? Yeah. But I still had that fucking Devastator purchase that I had saved, that I had all a bunch of stuff saved up for, right? Yeah. So, that's one of those things, though, that, once those Devastators are gone, they are gone for good, and that if I want to get one, it's going to cost me, at least double. Yeah. And I love that figure, but I do not $600 love that figure. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, that's a thing.
Anyways, Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. It was good.
It was great.
And we've got a rant in there.
Yeah.
I think
we got a number of rants in there.
Yeah. That might be segment, I think.
Yeah. I think we should talk about what we want next from it.
Agreed. Okay. Segment 2.5, because the original segment was too short.
Sure.
Okay, segment 2.5. What do we want to see moving on going on from Star Wars? I mean, obviously JJ's not coming back for the next one.
He's producing.
He's producing, but I mean, he's not like... The thing that I think made the movie as good as it was the fact that JJ fucking stripped it down to bare bones Star Wars. He's like, what is Star Wars?
Yeah.
And he produced a movie that is Star Wars.
And
right?
I hope that they can take from that and continue down a different path, being Star Wars, because obviously the first one was beat for beat.
Well, yeah.
And I'm hoping that the next one's not beat for beat.
It kind of had to be.
Yeah.
It kind of had to be.
I agree. It had to be what it was in order to please everyone the way it did. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that we can please everyone now that they know it's Star Wars again. Mm-hmm. That we can please them without going beat for beat Empire.
Yeah, we can't just repeat history. Like, you know, like I said, JJ stripped it down. He's like, what makes Star Wars? This is what makes Star Wars cool. Boom, here's Star Wars. And everybody's like, yes, that is absolutely Star Wars. From there, hopefully they can branch off into a new direction, because now we're invested in it. We know it's okay, right? We know that it's not the prequels.
Yeah.
Right? We have places to go, characters to see, you know, story arcs to complete, characters to revisit. Captain Phasma, please come back. Yeah. I like that armor. It's fucking chrome-ass Stormtrooper armor. It's badass,
it's
okay?
Awesome. I agree. That's the only reason I have to like that character, though. There's literally nothing of her in it. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, they make her out to be such a badass in the fucking trailers, and pretty much all of the scenes you see of her in the trailers are like all of her scenes in the movie except for one.
Yeah. And then there's the traitor guy.
Oh, that guy's blown the fuck up on the internet. Holy shit.
They were just like, give the stormtroopers some batons or something. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, that was great.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's implying like a sort of unspoken past between this faceless stormtrooper and Finn.
Oh.
Because, you know, he screams out to Finn, you know, traitor! And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you know, you're the fucking traitor stormtrooper. I'm gonna take your ass down.
I was gonna say, was he Finn's friend in the beginning? But he died, didn't he? Finn's friend.
That might have been Finn's friend. Apparently there's some backstory involving, like, Finn being, like, the top member of a squad of stormtroopers, but he cared too much, or something like that. And that's why Phasma had such high hopes for him.
Right.
But ultimately...
just ended up doing sanitation.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But apparently, you know, that's why he's like a crack shot and everything else like that, because he's really good. Probably due to the force sensitivity that I suspect him of, you know, having.
Yeah.
But, so it's theorized by some that this fucking baton-spinning fucking stormtrooper is one of Finn's old squad or something like that, right? But it's, I mean, mostly it's speculation, right? Like,
yeah.
Nothing's really confirmed or denied, right? But the internet loves him.
Yeah.
And he's actually already got a figure from Hot Toys coming out.
Actually?
Yeah. Like,
that's awesome.
They actually have, like, Finn with a lightsaber, and then the fucking, they call him, like, a riot control stormtrooper or something like that. So he's got, like, the riot shield, which he throws off in the movie when he pulls the baton out. He's got the baton, it extends and everything else, right? Yes. Like, and they show, like, a few scenes of them, like, in battle and whatnot, recreating the shot from the movie. So, yeah, that First Order Stormtrooper with the fucking baton, already getting a figure from Hot Toys.
It'd be great if they had a Stormtrooper figure where you pull the helmet off and it's Daniel Craig.
I would love that.
That'd be great.
In fact, I would get, like, if I had all the fucking money in the world to buy Hot Toys figures, because they're like fucking $300 a pop.
Are they really?
Right? Oh, they're really expensive, right? But if I had all that money, actually the first thing I would get would be the Phil Coulson Hot Toys figure, because I fucking love that, but that's another thing entirely. No, I would get a First Order Stormtrooper, and I bet you they've got Hot Toys James Bond, right? Probably. And I would just head swap with Daniel Craig and be like, boom, there's the Stormtrooper that let Rey out of her fucking bonds. Boom. Done.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'd like have him dropping his gun. Like, that's how I'd pose him, just dropping his gun.
Yeah.
Like, and I will leave my weapon.
Yeah. So, Rey. Mm-hmm. Who do you think Rey is?
I'm gonna go with, she's either Luke's, or somehow related to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I still feel...
Because Obi-Wan was alone for a lot of years on Tatooine,
True.
right? He was still, oh, Jedi Order, we can't love, blah, 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 right? But
he was still Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. He was still Ewan McGregor, yeah. I mean, who's to say he didn't get shit-faced at a bar one night, knock some broad up? I don't know, whatever, right? No, but seriously, I don't think, because Leia, sensitive to the Force, right? Han Solo, not sensitive to the Force. Sensitive to lightsabers, not sensitive to the Force. Anyway. Too soon? But Leia, sensitive to the Force. Rey, overflowing with fucking Force power.
I thought you were going to say midichlorians.
No. Yeah, she's just oozing midichlorians out of every pore. They just fucking... No, that is a bad word. Where I come from, midichlorians is a 4-letter word. It'd be impossible to spell it that way, but it is. Just trust me. Anyway, but Leia being exceptionally Force sensitive, Rey being just overflowing with the power of the Force, so much so that she can fucking turn it on people who've been trained to use it when she hasn't. There would be more of a connection if they were more related, right? Like, if she was Kylo's sister, for instance, and Han and Leia were her parents, there would be more recognition there. Leia would be able to sense the power of her own child and know who the fuck that it was.
That's a good point, I guess. Right?
So I really don't think... I mean, they might still go that direction, but I really don't think, given what we know, that she is, Kylo Ren's sister, Han and Leia's daughter, right?
Yeah.
They don't really make any mention to them having another child.
Yeah. I also, see, the only thing that makes me think that it could be Luke's daughter is just the way that she interacted with the lightsaber. Mm-hmm. But, that is totally plausible being, Han's daughter. Mm-hmm. Or Leia's daughter, I guess.
Yeah.
Given the blood connection there.
Yeah.
But I am not sold on the way that Kylo fought with her and just completely pretty much gave up on it without him having a specific connection to her already. And I guess that could be any connection. But I'm seeing sister because the way he fought her was pretty much absently. There was almost no fight. And he is apparently this incredibly force powerful guy.
Well, and I mean, he started off whooping her ass pretty hard. Right? Well, chasing her around while she was escaping and whatnot, right? When it finally came to it, though, they're saber clashing, right? And he's like, you need to be trained. I could train you, right? You know what she does? She's like, now I can whoop your ass. She, downloaded in the Matrix how to fucking lightsaber fight. Or,
Yeah.
She basically, closed her eyes, opened herself up to the Force, and she's like, I know what I need to do now. Your ass is down. Right? I don't think it was a change in Kylo. I think it was a change in her. I don't think it was he recognized her as a sister or something. I think it was because you see her do that focus and go. She's learning her Force abilities, and every time you see her suddenly get more powerful, when she tries to Jedi mind trick Daniel Craig, right? Mm-hmm. She can't do it. Then she stops. She focuses for a second. Boom, she can Jedi mind trick. I guess her powers are growing exponentially. She's sitting there doing terribly in this fight, then she closes her eyes, focuses, listens to the Force or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And comes back out of it okay, this is how we do things, right?
I guess I'm discounting the idea that she could be so good with the Force without being trained in it. I don't know, I just never even thought about it that way, which makes her extremely special then, I guess.
Well, and here's the other thing, she doesn't even realize what she's doing is using the Force until Kylo actually mentions that she's, actually pretty strong in the Force, right? Yeah. She's like, oh, that's the Force? Right? She's kind of like, oh, I'm using the Force? Oh, fuck, that makes everything so much clearer. And then she's like, okay, Jedi mind trick. And the guy's like, no. And she's like, Jedi mind trick. And he's like, oh, yeah, hey, sure, right? And then it's lightsaber fight. It's lightsaber fight. And then, lightsaber fight, right?
Yeah.
I really think everybody's got this whole idea of what's going on there. I really think she's just tapping into it.
Yeah.
Right?
She has a like a valve that just like lets the force flow in when she focuses on it.
Yeah, that's how I see it happening, right?
Yeah.
That's how I see that scene.
I have to rewatch it.
So I'm gonna rewatch it soon, anyways. I think we should probably find a day and go.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's why I don't think. Plus, I mean, she gets close enough to hug Leia while Leia's like, "Oh, Han Solo is dead," and Rey shows up, and it's like, and people are like, "That's because it's mother and daughter," and I'm like, "Well, no, that's because she was there and knows that fucking hurt like a bitch."
Yeah.
Right. Plus, you think they get that close, mourning over the same guy that she saw killed and Leia felt killed, there would be like a, oh, holy shit, you're my daughter, if that was the fucking case, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's a possibility Luke's daughter, right? Luke could have easily fathered a child before he took off,
I guess.
right? Or
How long ago was that technically though? But like before the end of the movie, how long ago was it that Luke went missing?
okay, so it was after Kylo turned, because it was his betrayal and slaughtering of Luke's Jedi.
Oh, so it wouldn't have been that long.
Yeah,
Just a few years.
yeah, it would have only been, I'd say, 5 years tops.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that it was way longer.
Yeah, because I mean, like we had he moved off to go train new Jedi, right? And how's the camera, by the way?
It's fine.
Okay, cool. Just checking, just making sure. Don't want to get mid rant and lose it again.
Yeah, our camera turns off every like 17 to 19 minutes because it sucks.
Yeah. So, yeah, like Luke took like end of Jedi. Luke's like, okay, I am the last of the Jedi. I must train the new Jedi. The galaxy must be safe, right? Mm-hmm. I must go. My people need me, right? Whatever. Starts seeking out new Force sensitives, training them, everything else. Han and Leia have a kid. They're like, hey, here's a kid. We have a kid. He's your nephew, Luke. And Luke's like, oh, cool, I have a nephew. Is he strong in the Force? Oh, hell yeah, he's strong in the Force. Okay. And they're like, you want to train him? Okay. So now Luke's training his nephew. Everything's good, right? Trains him how to use the Force. Gets pretty fucking good at it. Everything else like that. Snoke sneaks in there somehow, somewhere, right?
Gotta know what the deal is with that guy.
Oh, God. And whether or not he's actually like 60 feet tall. I doubt it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think so.
It'd be really cool if he was.
I guess.
That'd be an interesting dynamic, fighting a dude who is a giant.
By the way, he looked terrible in my opinion.
He did.
He looked bad.
Yeah.
Like, probably the single worst thing in the movie.
That's because he was like one of the only like supremely CG elements that they used.
Yeah, whereas, what's her name? Orange chick.
Yeah, she looked good.
She looked pretty good. They made her, like, she was CGI, obviously, but she looked almost realistic to it. But
it could also be, like, we may find out that Snoke's hologram is not actually how he looks.
Oh, fair enough.
Right?
That's possible,
like,
too,
that's another thing that I was thinking, like, because I thought that his fucking CG looked so terrible, maybe that's not actually him.
Yeah. Also, I guess it was a hologram. It didn't need to look super realistic, I guess.
But, like, maybe it's a holographic avatar that he uses to talk to people to seem more imposing, and that's why it's 60 fucking feet tall, right?
Snoke standing at his, like, Kinect. Xbox off.
Great. Where was I going, though? All right, Luke's timeline-ish, right? So somewhere along those lines, his nephew Ben Solo goes all fucking Snoke raving mad, and...
God damn it.
Yeah, went there. Gets that angry fucking red lightsaber with the crossguard, kills all of Luke's new apprentices, and fucking fucks off. And Luke's like, this is my fault. I have to go away. So he goes on a search for, like, the original Jedi Temple, right? Mm-hmm. It had to have only been, I mean, like, you see him, like, it's not even like, when you see Rey's flash of him after she touches the lightsaber, he's got that same metal hand that he has at the end of the movie, right? Yeah. So I don't think it's been that long.
Yeah.
Right? And you see him, like, touch R2, which is another thing, because, like, R2 was shut down for a while and then came back up. What if Luke was doing that?
I wonder.
Right?
Luke, yeah, because R2 obviously has a connection to Luke. Mm-hmm. Luke could be like, okay, R2, I need you now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like, there's a lot of stuff, and, I mean, some of it they've started adding backstory and stuff too. Like I think there's an actual reason now that they have why R2D2 was shut down for most of the movie and then woke up at the end of it. Something to do with either sensing the completed part of the map that he needed, or the other one was that he just spent that time compiling the map and he had just conveniently compiled it at that moment. Shit like that, right?
Still
Still very convenient timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's entirely possible that like Luke could have been like force telepathy fucking technomancer type shit, right?
Yeah, technomancer.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, so like, where was I going with this? I don't remember. Luke fucks off, leaves R2 with instructions, obviously, whatever they happen to be. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, it had to be like 5 years tops between then and Kylo Ren, leader of the Knights of Ren, who I hope we get to see the rest of them.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
That would be a thing to start separating us away from just following the path of Empire.
Yeah.
Is to have the Knights of Ren become like a thing.
Yeah.
Right? That would be cool. That would be very cool. So, yeah. That gives Luke plenty of time to do some other stuff, so Rey could be Luke's daughter.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
There's a significant amount of time there.
But I think if they threw us a curveball and made her somehow related to Obi-Wan, that would be fucking cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like, she's, like, not even related to these assholes. She's, like, fucking Obi-Wan's granddaughter or some shit, or, like, great-granddaughter or something, right?
Yeah.
Because you gotta think, Obi-Wan was old as dicks by the time... Well,
yeah.
I mean, he wasn't really, if you consider prequel trilogy, he's, like... What do you figure? Phantom Menace, he's, like, 20, 25?
Phantom Menace? Yeah, 25 to 28, I'd say.
Yeah.
Then pushing 30.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, it's... Okay, so... How many years after is Attack of the Clones supposed to be?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's supposed to be long enough for Jake Lloyd to turn into Hayden Christensen, so, like...
Okay, so 8 years-ish,
8 to 10 years, yeah, right? So that's... Obi-Wan goes from, I'm going to say 25 to, like, 35, right? Yeah. Which, judging by his appearance, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith, then, is only, like, 3 or 4 years later, right? Because the Clone Wars doesn't last very long, right? I think it's about a 3-year war, something like that, right? Yeah. So that puts 40. Him at, like, pushing 40, right? Yeah. 20 years later, he's, like, pushing 60, right? Yeah. So he's not really that old, right? But at the same time, I mean...
I'd say that's fairly accurate, though, for him turning from Ewan McGregor into original trilogy Obi-Wan.
Original trilogy Obi...
Fuck.
yeah, going from Ewan to Alec Guinness in 20 years. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. He was already starting to look it, so hey, it's all good. Yeah. Although I actually think Ewan McGregor wore the beard better. He looked kind of like a scruffy dog. It was great. But yeah, so, I mean, in those 20 years, between him being like, pushing 40 and pushing 60, he totally could have had a kid, right? Yeah. That kid could have then had another kid, right? So let's see, like, maybe at around the same time as Obi-Wan and Luke are fucking traveling to the Death Star and all that other shit, right? Maybe his kid's off somewhere, not really knowing their true destiny or anything else like that, right? And they have a kid, right?
That brings up the question: what caused them to drop Rey off on that planet? Waku?
Jakku.
Yeah. Waku.
On Planet Pac-Man. Planet Pac-World. No, yeah, what caused them to drop her off with Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
Simon Pegg in a rubber suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is a good question, right? And I actually don't have a good theory for that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not like you need to be here to hide, because obviously, I mean, it could be, right?
Yeah.
It could be one of those, you need to hide here. You're too important.
True. It could be one of those things.
It'd definitely be a better job than hiding Luke on Tatooine with his fucking family. I mean, in Obi-Wan's defense, Anakin's kind of an idiot, so whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, like, not even changing his last name, this and that, right? Like, that was stupid. But yeah, so it could be the same kind of deal, only a lot better by, dropping her off on, like, a serious, like, backwater world. Like, every time I saw shots on Jakku, I'm like, it's like Tatooine, but like even shittier.
Yeah.
Which both is and isn't weird, considering the last time I saw it, shit was exploding. Right? But,
I guess we can't even come up with a theory because we don't know what Rey's background would have been. Like, we don't know if she's Obi-Wan's daughter. That could lead to a completely different story.
oh, like Obi-Wan's granddaughter.
Or granddaughter, yeah. So,
Which would be cool. I think that would be great. I'm just saying.
yeah. I could dig that. I think we can call that segment because I'm a bit worried about the camera turning off.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Segment! Although that one point where I ask, how's the camera in 2.5 is going to be fucking great.
Well, see, I'm
Just put
looking
like
at
a
it.
caption at the bottom that says, no, it isn't. What is step 3?
Step 3 is favorite games of the year.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a thing.
Mario Maker, just putting it out there.
Yeah,
Mario
yeah.
Maker's game of the year for both of us. We
Yeah.
didn't play really anything else. So we're going to talk about some games that we missed.
I did play some games that came out last year.
Go for it.
Okay, so the only games that I really played were all like Nintendo titles. I played a lot of Mario Maker and continue to play a lot of Mario Maker. I played Mario Party 10. That game is not great, but Bowser mode is so much fun because you just get to troll everyone else. They play like a normal... Okay, so the way play...
You take up the role of Bowser, then?
Yeah, the way Mario Party 10 plays normally is once you've rolled one of each number on the dice block, like 1 through 6, Bowser gets unlocked and starts chasing you.
Right.
And if he gets to you, you have to escape like different Bowser minigames and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
As well as playing other minigames, collecting mini stars, all kinds of shit like that. Right? Like you don't collect coins, you don't go get stars, not like old Mario Party games, which disappoints me because that was a good formula and didn't need to be fucked with.
Yeah.
Now everyone moves at once.
Oh, that's weird.
And whoever's turn it is either gets things or loses things depending on where they go.
That's weird.
It's not good. But playing as Bowser, the order of play is still the same, except now you control Bowser. Like whoever has the gamepad controls Bowser, the other players are playing as normal.
Right.
And you get to shake the dice for Bowser, and you get to move the spaces, and you get to play the Bowser minigames as Bowser trying to kill everyone else.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the only good thing about that game.
So not worth it, but sounds great.
It's a great mode in a terrible game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not a terrible game. It's just not nearly as good as any of its predecessors.
Play 2.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you know what? Even 8 was good. Like
Was
the
it?
one for
It
the
was a
for the Wii. Yeah, 8 was good. It was the last one where they kept the old style of play, and I enjoyed it immensely. 7 also, which I think was the one for the GameCube that had the microphone attachment. I think.
Sure.
That one was fun too. I played a lot of that one. Anyway, Woolly World.
I really want to play that.
I played like very, very little of it, but I've watched Tiffany play a whole bunch, right?
Yeah.
So, I really like it, and I really like the Yarn Yoshi amiibos.
Yeah.
So good. So, yeah, that one gets an automatic pass because it's the first Yoshi game in a while that plays like Yoshi's Island did,
Yeah.
right? Like, including, like, the Yoshi transformations, the everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It's just good fun. It's a little easy to start with. Apparently, the difficulty curve does ramp up. But, yeah, it's a good one. I enjoy it.
Does it have a life meter at all? Or any sort of life?
I don't remember.
Because that was the one thing that could have been so easy for them to add to Kirby's Epic Yarn. Because that would have simply just made it easier. Giving you a life bar where you could just die and restart the level again. Just adds a bit of, like, expertise. Challenge. Yeah. But instead, nothing literally happens. Like, you lose your gems, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think these days, these kind of games, you don't die.
Yeah.
But
anyway. I mean, even then, like, put a setting in. Like, normal mode rather than easy.
Fair enough. You collect balls of yarn in Woolly World in each stage that build a Yoshi when you're done.
That's cool.
And they're all, like, different patterns and shit.
Oh.
They're really awesome. I like them.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. There's, like, hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like, one.
There's, like,
person.
an NES Yoshi with the NES, like, style. Yeah.
Great. The other one that I played, the only, like, non-Nintendo one that I played that came out this year, because obviously mostly I've just been playing a lot of GTA. I do that.
Since Online came out.
Yeah, well, I mean, since I I've been playing it since October 2013.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow, it came out that long ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that long ago.
I know, it really doesn't, but it was. It was, and they're still doing free updates for it, so hey, fucking good on you. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, most of those updates are geared towards you buying their cash cards to buy all the new in-game shit, which, like, Jason just bought himself a yacht, and we got to troll around on that, and that's lots of fun, and it shot Vince down out of the sky. It was great. But anyway, so yeah, aside from that, because that didn't come out last year, the only game that came out last year that I've been playing aside from all those is Transformers Devastation, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's more. It's done by Platinum Games.
Oh.
Right. So it's more on the like melee combo beat up type thing, right?
Yeah.
So you get like a few dudes come at you and you have to punch the shit out of them. And you can use your transformation in combos to like turn Optimus Prime into a truck and start swiping people with the trailer, which makes no sense but is just mindless fun.
Yeah.
But the game looks and feels like the original cartoon, sort of.
Right.
More like the '86 movie style of animation. If you were to just bring that to life,
Yeah. Is it sort of like cell shady?
it is. It's
Yeah.
very cell shady, but in a good way because
Yeah.
they
Well, I like
actually,
cell shading.
yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't,
I
right?
guess.
And this is one of those cases where it really does work because it just amps up that '80s cartoon feel.
Yeah.
And it looks great. It plays pretty good. The voice acting, a lot of it is like spot on because they went back and they grabbed some of the original voice actors. Like Peter Cullen has been Optimus Prime now since, he did the original run of Optimus Prime. Then there was like 10 years where Gary Chalk was Optimus Primal in Beast Wars, and then Optimus Prime in a few of the anime dubs that happened.
Yeah.
And then in, 2007, when the first Michael Bay movie came out, they're like, boom, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime. And in just about every major media thing since then, not counting Transformers Animated, which I think was, it came out just after the movie, like capitalizing the hype.
Yeah.
Aside from that, Peter Cullen has been Optimus Prime again.
Right.
Games, cartoons, everything, right? So, cool. So he reprises the role of Optimus Prime in this game. Frank Welker is back as Megatron, as he was in all of the movie games, but not in the movies themselves.
Okay.
In the actual movies, they had Hugo Weaving voice Megatron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean, understandably, he's like, it was a job, I did it.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't really, and some people were like, oh, he doesn't care. I mean, like, he read like fucking 5 lines tops for those fucking movies. Like, it's just not, there was no motivation. There was no, because the characterizations of the robots in those movies was fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. So, understandably, he wasn't really big on it. But then for the games, they had Frank Welker voicing Megatron, as he did in the original. So then, in the 4th live-action movie, when Megatron sort of came back as Galvatron, as he is prone to doing, Frank Welker was back voicing him, which was cool. But yeah, so in the games, he's been Megatron. In the movies, Hugo Weaving's been Megatron. But then in this game, you have him playing more of like an original style Generation 1 Megatron.
Right.
So his voice has aged considerably. He can't quite get the same range that he did in the original, but he does a very good approximation of the work he did, 30-some years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So that's good. They also have him doing Soundwave, which anytime Frank Welker does Soundwave, except in the live-action movies, I'm happy.
But he did it in the live-action movie?
He did, but they didn't add any of the vocal processing that they used in the 80s cartoons. The whole thing about Soundwave's voice was not only did they add the vibration and whatever else to it to make it sound robotic, they also ran it through a vocoder.
Really?
Right? So that it was like monotone but sort of musical.
Yeah.
Right? Like, his first string of words would all be like, in this note, like in fucking like one level, and then he'd like drop down or like raise up a little bit to say something else, right?
Right.
Like first bit of line, second bit of line, right?
Yeah.
But it would sound like really like robotic, monotone, but musical at the same time. It was amazing. It was one of my favorites, and the way he did the voice for it, like his actual vocal performance was pretty much his Dr. Claw voice,
right?
Because he did Dr. Claw in the right. So you get that like almost like death metal growl kind of voice going on, right? So when you see Soundwave in the live action movies, and he starts talking, it's just like the Dr. Claw performance.
Right.
You don't get any of the extra stuff, and it's just like, such a fucking waste. You have the original voice actor doing the original vocal performance, but then you don't treat it in the same fashion.
But you know, it's Michael Bay. God forbid something actually be interesting.
Yeah, well, exactly. But he's, like I said, he's back as Soundwave as well in this game, and he's got the right processing to his voice. It sounds good.
Awesome.
They brought back Michael Bell for Sideswipe. They brought back Dan Gilvezan for Bumblebee, who hasn't voiced Bumblebee in any Transformers-related media since the 80s.
Oh.
So he comes back, which he's the only Bumblebee I really like, because movie Bumblebee can just fucking suck a dick with his gas cap mouth. I hate that thing. Any Bumblebee that doesn't talk can just go die in a fire somewhere. So yeah, the game was good. I haven't played through it all yet, but I've been enjoying every minute of what I have been playing. It's just been a lot of fun.
It's PS4?
Yeah, and, well, I mean, it's PS3, PS4,
Oh.
Xbox One, 360, whatever else, right?
Probably not Wii U.
Probably not. I don't know. But whatever, if you ever want to give it a try, I've got it on my PS4.
Cool. Cool.
But yeah, so those are the games that came out that I've actually played.
Anything you wish you played?
Yeah, like 3 things. One of which is a remake of a thing from a long time ago.
What's that?
Majora's Mask, the 3D. Yeah, I wanted to get that for my 3DS. Still haven't got it.
Yeah.
Because I still never played through Majora's Mask. My N64, up until when we moved it here, had been sitting there with a copy of Majora's Mask sitting in it, waiting for me to fucking play it. Still haven't got around to it.
Have you started it at all?
I did. I did start it.
Okay.
I didn't get very far. I started it.
Well, let's do that then, too. Like, that's something... I really like to go through that again.
All right, sure. I'm down. Yeah, and either I'll play it or you play it or
No,
we'll
you
fucking
played it.
switch off. Okay,
I
sure.
played it not too long ago.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah. If anything comes up and I'm like, what do I do? I can switch off.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was the one thing I always found in that game, because you had, like, the 3 days and you had to go do stuff and you had to go do this day, this on this day, and then go back in time and go do this on this day. And
It's tough and confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. My brain just couldn't comprehend. But then again, that was when I tried to play it when it came out.
Yeah.
When I was like, I like Mega Man games because they're linear and I can shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe I'm more explorative now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And definitely the most convoluted Zelda game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a remake, so I'm not really sure that it counts on for games that came out. But, I mean, the remake did come out, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, Splatoon I still have not played. You know, you'd think being such a fan of the Wii U as I am, I would have it and I would play it. I mean, I even have an Inkling amiibo.
Right.
Haven't played the game. And other than that, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, however the fuck you say it. Anyway, Xenoverse, I'm pretty sure.
Xenoverse, yeah.
Sounds better.
There's one consonant between the two vowels. It'd be Xenoverse.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, English lesson. That game, custom character you create because Future Trunks needs someone to go help stop all the shit that's happening in the time stream. Like, basically, someone's going back and fucking with events from the Dragon Ball timeline.
Right.
So Trunks goes to the dragon. He's like, "Dragon, grant me a wish." And the dragon's like, "Okay, what do you want?" And he's like, "I need a hero who can help me right all these wrongs in the past." "Okay, here you go." And then it's like, create your custom character. And you can choose from different races, different genders, except for a few races that are genderless. Like Namekians have no females, so you can't be a female Namekian because they just don't exist. Namekians are asexual. But yeah, so you can choose, and you can choose from different custom voices. Male custom voice number 8, of course, being just a shitload of Dragon Ball Z abridged references because they got one of the guys from Team 4-Star. They got Takahata 101 from Team 4-Star to actually go in and record voices.
See, that's the kind of, like, that's the best kind of company.
Yeah. The kind that's like, you do that joke series based on our series.
That's awesome.
Come voice a thing for us. Yeah, I mean, like, they even got, like, Chris Sabat is, like, pretty good with those guys, so, and he's, like, the voice director for Dragon Ball Z, and, like, at Funimation in general, he, you know, is pretty big there. So, he, like, he's pulled them in for a few different things. Like, Kaiser Neko got pulled in to voice one of Frieza's soldiers in Resurrection F. So that was kind of cool, too. Like, an official Dragon Ball Z movie with one of the Team 4-Star actors just, I mean, voicing, like, one line, but, right?
Yeah.
Still, it's like, that's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, that game I really wanted to try. because it just looked like fun, and I love the fucking, like, sort of what-if scenarios of, what if Raditz was suddenly super powerful and killed, Goku and Piccolo, and what would happen after that?
Yeah.
Or what if Vegeta became a member of the Ginyu Force because Ginyu swapped bodies with him? Or, like, just, like, ridiculous, weird, dumb shit like that. And I'm like, these are cool. I was kind of like that, like, when they would do them in some of the older fighting games. They did a thing where Cell was all set to absorb one of the androids, and he's like, I will absorb you and obtain my perfect form. Absorbs Krillin accidentally and becomes, like, tiny and orange with fucking no nose. And it's like... Right? And it just, like, weird shit like that. I love when they just fuck with that. And Xenoverse is, like, entirely a let's fuck with that kind of game.
Yeah.
With its own story, of course, right? But, yeah, so I really want to try that one out. Other than that, there's a few things that I care absolutely nothing about, but we'll get into that later. You go now. You do your thing.
Yeah, I played mostly Mario Maker this
Yep.
year, and even before Mario Maker came out, I wasn't playing a whole lot, mostly like retro games and stuff. So
Yeah, well,
I didn't
exactly.
get
Like
much new at all. And I don't have an Xbox One or a PS4. I guess we have a PS4 now.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was Mario Maker. I spent like 600 hours or something playing that, so that's a thing. But games I missed out on. I missed out on number 5, Splatoon, something I really think I'd enjoy. I don't play a lot of online stuff, but
Well, the thing is, I mean, like, if we both had a copy of the game, we could play against each other,
yeah,
right?
that's the thing. I know I'd play against you.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks incredibly fun. Just stupid fun. So that's number 5. Number 4, The Witcher 3. I do like myself some really big open RPGs, Oblivion, Skyrim, that sort of thing. Never have time to play them, and I missed out on The Witcher 3 because I'm probably not going to play it until maybe like I retire and I'm like 60 and I'm like, let's go play The Witcher 3. Until Dawn. I love horror, and Until Dawn just looks like a pretty creepy, fun horror game. It looks like it plays really well, and I like games that play well. So,
See, I'm the kind of person that I love the big open world, everything. I just don't like playing them. I like watching people play them.
really?
Yeah. Like, for example, anytime I'm watching someone play Fallout 4, I'm like, this is fun. But every time I go to play it, I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking care.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's the way I've always been with stuff like that. Like, I tried to play Morrowind,
Yeah.
right? I got maybe an hour and a half in playing, right?
Just too much.
And I was just like, I have no direction. I just don't, right? And then I had the same problem. Like, I got a half hour into Oblivion, was like, I don't care. Skyrim, I didn't even try.
Yeah.
Fucking any of the Fallout games, mostly because of the fact that I didn't play the old Fallout games. So I'm not as invested in this in this whole world as everyone else seems to be.
Yeah.
So when the new ones came out and they were the same kind of game, I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? I feel a little bad about that, but at the same time, I can't force myself to play them, right?
Yeah.
So
Ken was gonna shut off soon, so let's finish this segment.
Cool.
Number 2, Undertale,
fuck
because
that game.
I think it looks adorable and awesome, and I'm gonna really enjoy that when I play it. And it turned off.
Of course it did.
Actually, we can just keep going. And number 1, Life is Strange, because it looks really interesting. I hear like really interesting things about that. Yeah, I do really want to play that. I hate like episodic things though. Not that I've really ever experienced them. I just hate the idea of episodic games, and it is episodic. But yeah, it looks like a really interesting, like weird fantasy, sci-fi, modern sort of mystery thing.
So I'll tell you what my problem with Undertale is.
Going back to number 2.
Yeah, I'll tell you what my problem with Undertale is. It's that song that's overplayed on the radio.
What?
That's exactly what it is. Like, you know how, like, a song will come out and everybody will be like, I fucking love this song! Yeah! And they'll just play it. Like, non-goddamn stop. It'll be everywhere on the radio, in everybody's playlist. You hear someone driving by in the fucking car listening to this fucking song, and you're just like, I fucking hate this song. Even if it's a catchy song, even if it's a good song, it's just so overplayed, you're like, fuck this song, right?
Right.
Undertale, without me ever having even played it, is that song on the radio.
I don't even get it. Like, I get that Tumblr has a lot of Undertale on it. I don't even notice when I'm on Tumblr. And I get that Zach talks about it a lot. but I usually hear, "Oh yeah, it's awesome," and then he says something about it, and then that's it. And
I just hear it discussed and see it pop up so many times in my daily life.
that's weird, man. Because I have definitely I've seen like little skeletons, and some graphics and some music, and that's just like, oh, this looks like it'll be good. So I bought it. I'll probably play it. We'll see how that goes.
You'll have to let me know how it is, because I'm never going to play it. Ever.
Cool. That segment, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess.
In the next segment, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching the Sunday version, we'll see you in like a minute or two.
That's true.
Next segment.
Which is, what is the segment that we are in? Oh, yeah. It's my favorite CDs or albums that came out and your favorite TV shows. You didn't even think about that, did you?
I have a short list.
Cool. You can go first, and then I'll talk about some music.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
No?
No.
No?
I mean,
You watch more than I do.
I watch the Marvel Netflix series when they come out, right? Like, when did Daredevil come out? Was that last year?
No, that was this year.
That was this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so Daredevil was badass then.
Yeah, I think that was this year. Let's
I
find
don't
out.
fucking remember.
Yep.
Okay,
April.
cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Really? Only in April?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Shit. Seems like so long ago now. Yeah, April 2015?
Yep.
Huh, interesting. Anyway, yeah, so, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, both of those were great. I enjoyed them immensely. David Tennant is fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm. I haven't even finished Daredevil yet, so I haven't gone to Jessica Jones.
Oh, man. I recommend you do, because
Yeah.
they're actually really good.
I actually totally forgot. So I'll do that.
Other than that, I started watching the Muppets. The new Muppet series. Yeah. I've been enjoying it. I've actually really, like, some people are like, what is the point of this? Right?
There is no point.
Well, exactly. There is no point. That is the point of it. There's no point.
Yeah.
But, I've really been enjoying just kind of seeing the Muppets sort of back in their element, but slightly less kid friendly.
Yeah.
Right? So, taking more chances, throwing in more adult oriented tones and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Before you would never see the Muppets go to a bar and get drunk.
Yeah.
Right? In the show you do, and you see them like rock some karaoke, which is
That's
great.
awesome.
Like the Swedish Chef does Rapper's Delight, which is amazing, right? So yeah, that show has just been good fun. What else? I saw the first episode of what's it called, Into the Badlands, I think it is.
No idea.
I don't know, something about some dude with a sword kicking some ass. I don't know. It looked.
That sounds alright.
I mean, it didn't really grab me.
Yeah.
Right. I'm probably gonna go watch more of it, but hoping that maybe it'll become the next thing I want to watch. But like, it didn't really stick with me when I watched it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. It was all right though.
Other than that, you're watching X-Files.
Other than that, I've just been rewatching X-Files because I think it's this month now. Actually,
January, really?
I think that's worth checking into because I know it's coming soon. I know it's this year that the new episodes of the X-Files are coming out. There's only gonna be 6 of them. You're gonna want. Hold on, yeah, the X-Files miniseries.
January 24th.
Yep, it's this month.
Wow.
So I've got 2 seasons left to watch before then.
Easy peasy.
Oh yeah, totally. Because yeah, I've just been rewatching the entire series just to kind of get myself re-caught up because I fucking loved that show when I was younger, right?
How many seasons? There was 10?
9.
9?
This is technically season 10 coming up.
Right.
Right.
Wasn't David Duchovny out of it by season 7?
I think I can't remember if it was season 8 and 9 or just season 9 that he wasn't around for.
Right.
But yeah, they had some other agents take over. Like they had
Agent Doggett. I remember that because it was a weird name.
Agent John Doggett. Yeah, played by fucking Robert Patrick.
That's right.
The T-1000 shows up and he's an FBI agent.
Of
but
course.
yeah, no, and yeah, so that was a thing that happened. But of still, like, they still had David Duchovny even the very last episode of the series, right? He still popped in from time to time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like when they put Richard Dean Anderson on a bus in the later seasons of Stargate. You know, he was gone, but he kept popping back every once in a while.
I don't think I remember how far I got into Stargate.
Oh, okay.
I think I watched like 6 seasons.
Okay, because season 9 and 10 he's not there for, but
Really?
yeah,
That's weird.
yeah, they have a new guy leading SG-1.
Who was it?
Anyone? Ben Browder.
Hmm.
You ever watch Farscape?
Nope.
Okay, because he's the dude from that.
Oh.
Which is funny because they also had his co-star from that, Claudia Black, showed up in about season 8, I think.
That always happens.
Yeah. And so then people were calling it Fargate for a while, and it was it was a thing. But so I've been watching a lot of that, and then like I said, you've got your Marvel Netflix series, you got your Muppets. Of course, I've been keeping up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that show, I like the way it sort of weaves in and out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
So much fun. Agent Carter's coming back soon. Looking forward to that. So that's going to be pretty good.
Actually, something that I think I want to do is rewatch all the Marvel movies before Civil War comes out. Civil War is the first Marvel one, right? Mm-hmm. This year?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. But also watch S.H.I.E.L.D. with it and watch Daredevil with it. And has Jessica Jones like tied in any little... No, not even any references? No, that's kind
of... Just to Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Because in one of the episodes, like... In Daredevil, he starts getting Rosario Dawson to help him out. She's like a nurse, and she, begins helping him out. And then in like the last episode of Jessica Jones, she shows up and is helping them out now.
Right.
So, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I got a friend who does this kind of stuff. You guys should meet up with him."
Right.
And kind of hinting at what is to come.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm looking forward to the next installment. It's gonna be good.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Daredevil and all that with the new movies and the old movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the thing about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like it started out in sort of a dead period, right?
Yeah, so it's really slow.
Yeah. It starts off. It's a real slow burn because it starts in the area just before Winter Soldier.
Right.
And when Winter Soldier happens and there's big changes for S.H.I.E.L.D., that's when the entire show starts to really kick off and take on the life that it has.
So I should start S.H.I.E.L.D. between, is it Iron Man 3 and
I think
Winter
so.
Soldier?
Yeah. There's a chronology. We can look it up later. Anyway, but yeah, that's definitely something to do.
Yeah.
So, okay, what were your favorite albums this year? Because I only listened to one album from this year. I only own one album from this year, and that's Ninja Sex Party's Attitude City, which, by the way, is fucking awesome.
That is awesome. It's not on my list, but it's awesome.
I have a signed copy of that. I'm really happy.
My music goes back to when I was in high school, and I was super pop punk emo guy. I was never like emo the way people.
Did you shop at Hot Topic?
I do now.
I do too. That's where I bought this.
Ah.
It's the only thing I've bought at Hot Topic ever. But I bought this at Hot Topic just because it is a Dom and I collect Doms.
So 3 of my favorite bands released albums this year. And then one was one of my favorite bands' side projects. And then a new band. Number 5 is the Early November, which for the longest time was my favorite band right out of high school.
That would explain the t-shirt.
Oh yeah, Early November. You can't see it because of my computer, but it says Early November. The new album Imbue, very different from their other stuff, but still maintaining their sort of. It's all the lead guy. It's like all him, so it maintains his thought processes in it. So that's kind of cool. And same with number 4, his side project called I Can Make a Mess, released an album called, I guess it's called #Hooraeth. And Hooraeth is actually a really interesting word. It means longing or homesickness for a place that you cannot go back to, which is it's a really cool word. I like that word. And that's a really great album too. Like I haven't listened to them both a whole lot because I've actually been listening to the top 3 a lot more, but I do really enjoy those two. Number 3 is my actual favorite band now, Frank Turner. he released a album called Positive Songs for Negative People, which is exactly what it is. They're really like sort of happy sounding songs that aren't really that happy when you listen to them, and it's kind of interesting that way. And he's awesome in British and like has a history in like metal and like hardcore stuff. So like now he's like this acoustic rocker, and yeah, that's great.
All right,
and
cool.
it comes out like his punk like hardcore stuff comes out in his acoustic music. Hey Ben.
Hey. Supper's ready.
Oh, cool. Well, we'll be there after this segment, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Recording.
Thanks for food.
Okay.
Second one is Time Spent Driving, another band that broke up a long time ago. I think 2003. They had like one album and one EP, and they came back like 15 years later and released a friggin' awesome album. Like right back into what they sounded like before. And it's super good. It's called Past and Presence, and I'll probably put a link or something down for all these.
I love when a band comes back after so long apart and it's like they haven't skipped a fucking beat.
Yeah.
Like when Sabbath reunited with Ozzy for their album 13.
Yeah.
It sounds like I put on a new song for some people who knew some old Sabbath. I was like, when do you figure this song was? And they're like, oh man, that's Sabbath. They got Ozzy with them. Oh, it's got to be like 70 whatever. And I'm like, try 2013, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Because it just sounds so much like fucking old Sabbath. Right?
Yeah. The thing about this though, like, it's so much better. Because back in like the early 2000s, recording high quality was like super expensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, it still is super expensive if you go on like top tier. But you can make great sounding music way cheaper now.
Oh yeah.
And so like obviously these like small pop punk bands or whatever, they're not forking out $10,000 to make an album, $20,000.
Right.
Now they're like a couple $1,000 gets them much more than it did from their old stuff. So you get like the same sound and the same ideas that they had, but it sounds so much better now because like their money goes so much further, which is something that really hit me hard with this Time Spent Driving, because like they were a very small band. The whole album made it onto I want to say it was Amped or 1080 Snowboarding on the original Xbox. Entire album is on the soundtrack. Yeah. And
Nice.
that's where most people found them. So they have like some thousands of fans, but like, not more than that. And and this new album hardly skips a beat. Super good. And the number one album that I have this year is like super like 2000s emo, like early 2000s. Like this one could have just legitimately been straight out of 2000s. It sounds old, and it sounds like it's super just like, I don't know how to describe it. Like early Jimmy Eat World mixed with like Brand New. I don't know if you know Brand New at all. Probably not. But it feels like that, and it's super good. It's called, their name is The Hotel Year, and it actually used to be The Hotel Year, but apparently that made it too hard for them to like Google search. So they actually changed it to Hotelier. So it's like Hotelier. Pronounced the same, spelled differently. And the album's called Home Like No Places There. And it's super awesome.
Did they let Yoda write the fucking title?
I know, right? It makes no sense. And no place is one word.
Home like no places there.
Indeed. But yeah, I'm loving all 5 of these albums. They're super good. And they're super early 2000s emo. Like early Jimmy Eat World stuff. And it's great. And it's been a good year for music for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep, and I think that segment, and we're gonna go eat food. Do you know what we're having?
Let's go find out.
Yeah. Bye. We ate dinner.
Yeah,
it was
we
ham.
did.
It was good.
It was good ham.
Yeah.
So what do we got?
So we're doing favorite YouTube channels from 2015. What was your most watched, and did you enjoy the most?
Well, let's see. I started watching a lot more Game Theory.
Oh yeah, I actually stopped watching Game Theory last year.
Really?
Yeah. he started producing a lot more, and I was like, I just don't feel like keeping up with this.
Fair enough. I haven't been keeping up with all of it as we go along. Like I've skipped a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's stuff because fuck that game, I don't care. But yeah, in particular though, like I mean, also like they switched over to doing film theory as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I started watching that, but out of the game theorists, the one I found I was watching the most was actually Gaijin Goomba. So I've actually subscribed to his channel as well.
Right.
So sort of counting that all as one, but mostly I started watching Gaijin Goomba's stuff.
Cool.
He does a lot of like, different like what cultures are being involved in what games and whatnot.
Right.
Like what kind of cultural references they're making, not necessarily to just the culture from which the game was created, but like other ones as well.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Another one that I watched a lot of this year was This Exists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just
you showed me a couple of
all
those.
kinds of just random shit. A lot of it like musical based, but other stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Of just like kind of things where it's like I would like to take an episode to point out that this is a thing. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I can dig it. Dude's Canadian too, so gotta dig it.
Gotta support Canadians.
Yep. Another one I subscribed to this year to watch through is Andre Meadows' Black Nerd Comedy.
Oh yeah, I did too actually. I haven't been like super keeping up with him. I watched a couple of his Power Ranger reviews and stuff.
Those are actually oddly those are the ones I'm not watching because
really?
I don't I mean,
you don't care about what Dino Force Charge or whatever it is.
I do and I don't. It's like I watched Kyoryuger, which they adapted into Dino Charge, but I'm not like Dino Charge seems to be a better adaptation of a Sentai series into a Power Rangers than they did with Super Mega Force, but I've got too much to focus on that I can't start branching off again.
Yeah.
Plus, I can't see the Dino Charge Rangers without seeing the characters that they previously were. Right?
Yeah.
It's tough for me. But yeah, watching a lot of his stuff. A lot of his like rants and reviews and things like that are pretty great.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes just the unboxings, just the random shit that people send him. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, still watching a lot of Game Grumps because I like them.
Yeah.
I like the music stuff they put out too. Also, they just added Ninja Brian as an actual Grump finally.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because I mean he moved to L.A., like quit his teaching position, moved to L.A., and so that they could do more like Ninja Sex Party and whatnot.
He was a teacher. I bet no one took him seriously.
He was a professor of theoretical physics.
I bet no one took him seriously.
No, actually, he was quite respected in his field.
Really? That's awesome. That's
the
so
teaching
cool.
position he had was at the what was it, the Queen Mary's University of London? Yeah, like he had a fucking high profile teaching position for theoretical physics and quit it to go write songs about dicks.
Professor Ninja Brian.
Yep. But so they've added him to the actual Grump roster now because he's living out there, mostly because through like their YouTube and stuff like that, it's become financially feasible for Danny and Brian to do that as their sole job.
Yeah.
While working on their Ninja Sex Party stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so many toy reviewers that I watch and that I continue to watch and whatnot. But the one that's probably been the best for me this year is definitely Vangelis. He's been doing, like, I've been subscribed to that guy for years, but this year I seem to like have really enjoyed just about everything he's put out, even if it's stuff that I'm like not even interested in.
Yeah.
Like he'll be like, oh, this toy line here, and I'm like, I don't really care, but I'm gonna watch your video anyways. And he's just like over the top with his like his review style, and he's always got great angles on stuff. And lately he's been doing with some of his Transformers like transformation sequences that look like he's not manipulating it in any way, shape, or form.
That's cool. So you just sort of a stop motion sort of thing?
Not really. Like, I mean, it's just close cropped so you can't see where his hands are, like shifting a piece into place or whatever.
Right.
But then the end result is pretty cool. Like, he'll have a guy like spin around and then boom, like 3-point landing, like Tony Stark style, right?
Right.
And I mean, it all flows together pretty well, and you know what he's doing, but it still looks cool, right?
Yeah.
And I had another point I was about to make there. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, stuff's been good. So that's that. I mean, that'd be sort of the top 5. And then there's the obvious, like, I'm still watching all the Rooster Teeth stuff, Achievement Hunter, Let's Play, The No, Funhouse, just, all that, right?
Yeah.
I was a sponsor on the Rooster Teeth site for a while, so I got to watch all the stuff when it came out, like, for sponsors. And as soon as I have any money at all, going to renew my sponsorship so that I can continue watching Ruby as it comes out, because there's a new episode tomorrow and I want to watch it. But I'm not going to get to watch it tomorrow. Sad face.
Balls.
Yeah. There's probably more, but that's,
That's the top 5.
Yeah, and
Is that 5?
that was more than 5, but there was a 5, and then there's some honorable mention, and then there's some taking some and combining them into one. And
Gotcha.
Yeah, anyway.
Gotcha.
How about you?
Looking at my list, it's a wide range of things that I've been watching. So we'll go 5 through 2, honorable mentions, and then number 1, like a professional does.
Oh, fine.
Oh, number 5, because this year I got into D&D.
Number 5.
Take it. Dawn Forged cast. Solely, not just D&D, Pathfinder, D&D, tabletop stuff, mostly Pathfinder and D&D. He's been doing a lot of 5e stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of tips on how to be a better DM and be a better player, and a lot of live stream archives where he just like talks to people. They ask him questions and he gives his opinion on it and all that. And he's been playing for I don't even know how long, probably 20 years. And so he's been doing it probably like nonstop.
Early for that long.
Yeah, he's been mastering the art of it, and he has some strong opinions that even as a beginner I don't always agree with, and you don't always have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just good to hear his opinions because he's obviously well versed in his D&D playing and lots of really interesting stuff. And number 4 is Creeps McPasta, which is a creepypasta channel that I really enjoy. The guy has a British voice, probably because he's British. And,
That would explain it, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's mostly just his voice, because creepypastas aren't really great in general, but I enjoy them. And I enjoy his voice.
Yeah.
And he's reliable, so that's always the thing.
Reliability is always a nice thing.
Yeah. Number 3 is Armored Skeptic.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have nearly enough stuff, and it's so rare. He has like maybe 1 or 2 videos a month, but they're always really good. Really good stuff. He's starting to do a little bit more like sort of off the cuff stuff.
Yeah.
Just like talking about things. So that's cool. He's hilarious.
He also showed his face in a video.
That's true. He actually has another channel where he often does.
Yeah.
I think. And he's Canadian too. So
Yeah.
gotta support the Canadians.
Yeah, I've been watching him too.
Number 2 is Pro Jared, because Pro Jared.
Actually, I subbed to Pro Jared this year, so I guess I guess I could add him retroactively to my list.
Yeah. I mean, I subbed to him a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed him a lot this year.
Yeah.
Um,
D in December.
D in December was a great icing on the cake of 2015.
Yeah.
It was super, super good. But he's had a lot of great Pro Jared videos this year too.
The Donkey Kong Country cartoon one was
Yeah,
great.
that was good. But yeah, it's just we got more of him this year than we ever got before. And it was great. Also, GX.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions are a couple local guys. We got Happy Console Gamer, who literally lives like a couple minutes from here, or at least he did, and he moved a couple minutes more from here. Seems really cool. I love all of his videos and stuff. Very simple stuff, just him sitting down and talking about stuff. And I don't know, I just really enjoy hearing his opinion on things, and always has similar opinions to me, so yeah.
It's always helpful.
Yeah. And there's Sexplanations, which is a great just like sex education channel, which is like, I find it really important for a lot of people, because even like if you're well versed in sex, you've been having sex for 20 years, there's stuff you don't know and stuff you should know. I think stuff everybody should know. It's generally appropriate for all ages, unless you're, I don't know, stupid.
I don't believe that sex should be
discussed.
Yeah.
You should just not know anything about it until you stick your dick in a chick. That was a lot of rhymes.
That's how I did it. I mean, what?
And another honorable mention, guy from Seattle, so kind of close. Metal Jesus Rocks. He actually used to work for Sierra, and he's got a lot of big box PC games. That's his like main collection, so that's kind of cool. But he collects all sorts of stuff, and he has
Oh yeah, you were showing me one of. Yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah. I like seeing what he's got and what he's talking about. He does a lot of like hidden gems videos. So like, what's some games not a lot of people know about on Xbox OG, and yeah, that sort of thing. And yeah, I like that a lot. Super Beard Bros, which is the Completionists' other gameplay channel.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of that. They're doing some great Mario Maker stuff. So, yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Number one, probably the most random one, is the Young Turks. I literally watch the Young Turks every night before bed. That's where I get my news from, because I trust them a lot more than any other news source. I agree with them fairly often, and they're actually journalism, so that's cool. Yeah, and they cover all sorts of important topics and some not so important topics, and it's generally good. And it's not like tonight, blah blah blah, bad stuff happens. They have a good time, and they laugh, and they make jokes, and they also do serious news. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, I like it a lot. Spend a lot of time watching that. And that's how I keep up to date. And I think I started watching it because, U.S. politics was really pissing me off. And it was pissing them off too, and we connected.
Right on.
Yeah. That's the thing. YouTube, it's been a great year, for sure.
I suppose I subbed to JonTron this year too. Finally. Took me long enough.
Did he even have any videos come out this year?
Starcade, actually great series.
Oh, really?
It was him doing, like, basically taking a look at... Oh, bumped the table there. Basically him taking a look at, like, every bit of Star Wars games and other such things that he could.
Right.
Filmed from sets they had constructed to look like the interiors of the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that. He had one great scene where he was talking about, like, the X-Wing games and how it's like, oh, you feel like you're really in an X-Wing, really taking on something. And then it cuts to, like, a shot of, like, 3 X-Wings flying by, or maybe just one, I don't remember. Anyway, and it's him in, like, a cockpit of an X-Wing,
right.
helmet on and everything. And he's like, oh, we're going to stick it to Vader or whatever, right? And then he calls in for, to see how his other squad mates are doing or whatever, or his squadron, yeah, that's the right word. I'm looking for the right word. Okay. How the other guys in the squadron are doing. And the first one is Ross. It's like, things are going bad. Things are going very bad. Turns out he's at, like, the bottom of the fucking ocean, right? He's like, okay, well, you're no goddamn help. Okay, how about Mark? And fucking Markiplier there, like,
right.
flying an X-Wing, and he's like, yeah, I ran into a school bus, and then he's like, I'm inside Arnold. It's like, what? Yeah, I have to help him fight a disease. It's like, okay. But yeah, the end of it was, something really special because the whole kind of loosely formed premise of it was that Darth Vader was making him go through all of this Star Wars stuff and playing all these different games and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, they had like a total like Vader Emperor and John as Luke kind of thing.
Right.
And then when it came time to like unmask Vader, because he's all like, "You're my friend" and everything else, and it's like, what are you talking about? And he takes the mask off. It's Aaron. And it's like, and they fucking have like a dance number at the end and everything else.
That's
and it's
great.
just like, finally putting aside those fucking internet rumors that they ended on such bad terms and shit like that.
Yeah.
When really, they had this all saved up.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a little emotional. It was really good though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. So that was actually pretty good for 2015 as well.
Yeah, that's good that they put that to rest though, because I just hear that a lot.
Oh yeah. Things like everything would come up, like fucking, oh, Aaron's a racist, so John left, or like, something like fucking, someone banged somebody else's girl, or, like just all kinds of like dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And, eventually they're just like, no, we're fine. We just, John had stuff to do, so he went and did his own thing.
Life.
Yeah, life, exactly. So it was really nice to see them just kind of come together, and it's like, I just wanted to play a game with you for old time's sake, and stuff like that. And I'm like, right? It was good though. It was very good. And yeah, then they had a Han Solo dance number at the end. By the way, the heater's still on.
Oh yeah, you guys can probably hear the heater.
Yeah,
Well.
we're good at this.
We are super great. You know, it's always the first like batch of recording that's a total clusterfuck.
Yep,
Yep.
always is. But yeah, so I think that's YouTube for 2015.
Yeah. You guys, we'll put links in the
Yeah.
description so you can check out some of the channels. And yeah,
Definitely not doing a YouTube rewind.
no.
And that's segment.
All right. Final segment of this week. We're talking 2016. What's coming? What are we looking forward to?
Ooh, when's that happening?
Now.
I don't know what I was doing there. It was fun.
January, it looks like the only thing that's really coming out is Hyrule Warriors Legends for 3DS, which is actually kind of exciting because I really like that game, but I'm not going to get it on 3DS. I'll just continue to play it on Wii U.
Just because Linkle, right? That's
Oh,
always-
Linkle.
Yeah. They're not gonna make like DLC for the Wii U version for us to be able to have Linkle, are they?
Wait, Linkle's only on 3DS?
I'm pretty sure.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
No.
I think so.
No.
We'll have to look into
No.
it. We'll have to look into it. Quick, research required. Linkle will be playable in the Wii U. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. Yeah, the last thing I had heard made it seem like it was just 3DS that this was happening.
Right.
And I was like, I hope not. But yeah, okay, so, Linkle will be available in the Wii U version, so whatever.
Nobody
I'm
fucking
excited.
needs the 3DS version.
Nope, not at all.
Actually, that would be kind of a good on-the-go game because it is sort of bite-sized things, except for like the really hard ones.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, February we have Mighty Number 9, probably, maybe.
Well, if it does come out, I will have a copy for the PS4 immediately because I backed it.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
My name will be in the credits.
That's cool.
Yes.
Nice.
Pretty excited about that.
Street Fighter 5 for Windows and PS4. And
I'm
not
so
for-
bad at Street Fighter games.
I'm so bad at fighter games,
Like,
just in general.
When Street Fighter started getting so technical, like anything after 2 pretty much, where it's all like combo based and everything else, I'm just like, I am terrible at this game now.
Yeah.
Suddenly I am a bag of dicks. So, I mean, yay, more Street Fighter. I do like the Street Fighter series. I like the characters. I can't play it to save my fucking life.
Yeah, me too. All fighters. I'm just fucking terrible.
I mean, you've got Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah.
I could probably play that. Probably.
I tried once.
I really did enjoy having Ryu in Smash Bros, though, so that's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
March. Twilight Princess HD.
Getting it. Well,
I fucking hate Twilight Princess.
I mean, I might be getting it. It depends on whether or not they have Link left-handed or right-handed.
I'm sure that it's going to be left-handed, and it's going to be like the GameCube version.
If it is, then I'm playing the fuck out of that because I love that game. It was the first time that there was a story in a Zelda game that I actually gave a shit about.
Right.
Right? Like, I actually started to feel for the characters.
Right.
I'd never had that before in a Legend of Zelda game. It was always just like, you are Link, you save Hyrule. Hyrule is saved. Yay.
This game was fun.
Yeah. This one is like, Midna especially.
Yeah, it was
One of my
interesting.
favorite characters to be added to The Legend of Zelda is Midna.
Yeah.
The whole starting off as just being like, she's just using you to get her own ends, to she actually, grows to not only appreciate but actually genuinely care for Link.
Yeah.
To the point where by the end of the game, she's pretty much fallen for him, but has to destroy the only method she has of returning to his world, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that arc made that game for me, more
Right.
so than the gameplay, right?
Right.
The gameplay was, you took the 3D Zelda format, you tweaked a few things, you added some different items, and you toned down the color a lot, which I know a lot of people didn't like that. I didn't like that either.
Yeah, and they expanded the space and didn't fill it with anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they fill it with a few things. Mostly enemies, sometimes bugs. But no, like the story above all else is what made that game for me, and that's why I rank it so highly.
Right.
Like the gameplay was basically nothing new, wasn't a whole lot innovative. The magical armor was a piece of shit. The Zora armor was pretty cool though because Link looked like a fucking ninja when his face mask came up. That was cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
Underwater bombs were a fucking great addition.
That's cool.
But yeah, the story above all else is what made that game good for me.
Yeah. Personally. I played it through twice and just I
also really like the end of the game, like the battle with Ganondorf, because you get into a fucking sword fight with him, and that's like it. Yeah. It's like, yes, I like this. Because it's just like, okay, we've exhausted all our fucking big, like basically big budget CGI bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Like the giant pig Ganon, the fucking fight on horseback, everything else, all that's done. It's you, it's me, it's swords, let's go.
Yeah.
Right? I liked that. I really liked that.
April, we actually have probably the busiest month, at least for games that we're kind of interested maybe in. We have Dark Souls 3, which I'm not really interested in. I'm always kind of, and then I start playing for 3 minutes. I'm like, this is fucking hard, and I put it away. Ratchet and Clank, which is apparently a reimagining of the original game.
But does it tie in with the movie?
I imagine it would.
Okay.
So,
just checking.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it comes out the same month. Star Fox Zero, which I'm incredibly excited for.
Yes.
And Uncharted 4, which I still need to play the first 3, and I'm excited to do so.
I've played to the final boss fight of the first one. Cannot get past it, mostly because the TV I was playing it on when I got there was total bullshit, and I couldn't see anything to save my fucking life. Nowadays, better TV, I could probably go back and play it, but I just got so frustrated that I don't know if I ever want to.
Funny story, that happened to me with Majora's Mask. First time I played it, I got really far. I was really young. It was one of the first games that I actually was like, I'm going to do this all on my own without any guides, any help or anything like that. And I got a ton of masks. I had most of the masks. Mm-hmm. And I had gotten really far. And my name in it, the save file was some random name. And my brother saved over it. He's like, I don't know who that is. Saved over it. It's my fucking game too. It wasn't even his game. And I didn't go back for about 10 years. Yep. May, Battleborn, which I put a link in because I couldn't remember what it was. Open.
That's okay, because I have no idea what it is.
I remember thinking it looked interesting. Why can't I open it? I'll just copy. It's a first-person shooter game developed by Gearbox Software, published by 2K Games for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. Battleborn will be the first intellectual property created by Gearbox since Borderlands in 2009. And yes, I remember looking at this and thinking it looked really cool.
I see a lot of swords, which is interesting for a shooter.
Yeah, right? The game will feature multiplayer online battle arena elements. And I'm not super into online stuff, but I think it looks really cool. I remember looking at it and being like, that looks
Now wait,
cool.
does it have does it have a single player mode as well, or is it just a
I don't know. A campaign mode which can be played solo or cooperatively with 4 other players will also be included in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a MOBA type person, so
Yeah.
Although a MOBA FPS, that's kind of...
It's not MOBA.
Well,
I guess it is.
Yeah.
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 But I think we need more different MOBAs because I feel like they're all exactly the same, right?
We also need more, intellectual properties, so that's not just rehashing of everything else.
Yeah.
So.
It's on Unreal Engine 3. That's weird. Because 4's been out for a while. I guess it's been in development for a while, so.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. What else we got? So, in June we have No Man's Sky, which I'm still super skeptical about, but I really want to play it.
Yep. I would love to watch someone play it.
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. All of them have been fairly good, I hear. I haven't played them.
That's in August?
Yeah.
Okay.
October is Yooka-Laylee, which I feel is promising.
Yeah.
Grant Kirkhope and all of the Rare team going at it again.
Yep.
That's all of the month ones that we know what month they're coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We got a bunch that are unscheduled for 2016. We got Bravely Second, which is like old school Final Fantasy style stuff. I'm really excited to play the first one because I haven't played it, Bravely Default. And we got the new Doom coming out, which looks pretty awesome, but Sam pointed out you should have some like guitar going on in the background.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Like if they're trying to make it too, I don't know, too horror-ish
Yeah,
instead of too...
It looks like Dead Space Doom.
yeah.
Doom Space.
Doom Space, yeah. Because, I mean, like, if you're running around with a fucking shotgun blasting demons from hell, right, you want to feel like a badass.
Yeah.
You gotta have that pumping soundtrack of just, like, guitar riffs and shit going on so that you're just like, I am the coolest. Ah!
Rip someone in half.
That was the whole thing about, like, the original Doom, was just the fact that you're like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. As you're like, yes, everything is dying. Fall before me, I am the greatest. That was, like, the fun of the game, man.
Yeah. Then we got Final Fantasy 15, and I'm honestly intrigued.
I'll watch someone play that, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the most fun I ever had was watching my brother play FF10. So,
Yeah?
yeah.
I still got to play the previous 13 of them. I've only ever played the first one, but
You trust me, there are some you can skip.
I still want to play them.
I know, but there are some you can skip.
The new Mass Effect, Andromeda. Yeah, that's coming out.
We're gonna have to do a series of me playing the Mass Effect games because I never have.
Yeah, I'd like to watch someone play that.
In fact, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Mass Effect, but we're going to because you get choices along
Roll
the way.
for
Right?
them.
We're gonna roll for them.
Heck yes, we are.
Oh yeah. And if we get a roll that I don't like, whatever, we're going with it.
Yeah. Cool. That's going to be a bad playthrough.
Oh yeah. It's probably gonna be fucking terrible. Plus, I'm gonna be playing, so it's probably really gonna be bad.
So, we also got Pokemon Go, which, again, skeptical, but they announced that they have gyms, and
I'm
that...
going to be interested to see how that works out.
Yeah, I can't think, like... That means they have to have some sort of storyline going, too.
Can you elect to be a member of Team Rocket so you can go terrorize other people?
That would be awesome.
How badass would that be if you're like, fuck that, I'm Team Rocket, and you could show up and like be like, bitch, I'm gonna battle you so you can't get to my boss. Or like, whatever.
This game's going to be great, I think, if they can do all this awesome stuff.
Here I am spitballing. It's like, yes, put it in the game.
We got Rise of the Tomb Raider. Only on Xbox,
Yeah.
which is weird.
I don't know. I haven't played a Tomb Raider game since Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to play the new one. I have the new one. Or, like, Tomb Raider, the reboot.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's supposed to be super good. I'm really excited to play it because it looks really good. Yeah. So I'd like to play that one, but I'm probably never getting an Xbox One.
No.
Actually, that's not true. I'll probably get an Xbox One.
Well, good. Then I'll be able to play some Xbox One games, because
Yeah.
I'm not. I cannot afford that.
It'll be the last thing I get. In fact, I'll probably get a PlayStation 4, then an NX, because I'm sure it's going to come out before I ever want to get an Xbox One.
Yeah. Well, I
Then
mean,
I'll
like,
get an Xbox
the problem I have with the Xbox One is just that there aren't enough exclusive titles that make me want an Xbox.
Yeah.
Like,
That's actually changing, though. This is actually a topic for another day.
okay.
But Sony and Xbox have continually flipped each generation their position in them.
Mm-hmm.
And it causes each one to have more good exclusive games for their console. Right now, Sony doesn't have a whole lot of the new exclusive games coming out simply because things are working out for them. They've sold more than the Wii U and Xbox combined, and they're kind of coasting with it.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Xbox last generation. Whereas Sony was like, oh fuck, we gotta catch up. And they just bought like 40 studios and had a bunch of exclusive games come out. And yeah, weird flip-flopping. What else we got? We were talking about Tomb Raider. We got The Last Guardian, apparently. Let's see what
Sure we
happens
do.
there.
We do.
I really want to play that game. I think it looks cool and fun and interesting and heartwarming or heartbreaking. I don't know. It's Team Ico.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah. And The Legend of Zelda? Question mark? I don't know.
Maybe.
I want to say my idea here is that the NX is coming out November.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to announce it at E3. It's going to be out in November, launching with The Legend of Zelda. It'll just be The Legend of Zelda. Won't have a subtitle. It's going to be something new, sort of refreshing but still familiar, and I think that's going to be awesome.
They're also going to launch with a new Mario title.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Although, really, they could just keep going with their new Super Mario Bros. Series because it's actually doing really well.
Yeah.
You know, everybody likes the return to the 2D.
Start with Super Mario 64 Maker, please.
Yes.
That'd be fucking awesome. And World of Final Fantasy, which looks interesting. I don't know much about it, but it looks like old school Final Fantasy, and I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll bring back some characters, you know, because it's like everything from all over the fucking place, right? So I mean, like,
Chrono show up.
that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, he just like travels through time and they're like, where the fuck am I now?
Yeah. This doesn't seem right. I'm not in the same...
Chrono's the reason all of these people are together.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's like a Bill and Ted kind of thing. Like he's
Yeah.
gone back in time and like picked up different people from different times and brought them all to one.
Yeah.
Cool.
On to movies,
I'm okay with that.
which we don't actually have a whole lot of time to do this. We're running short on time here.
All right.
January, we got The Fifth Wave, based on a book. It's supposed to be super cool, sci-fi. Aliens, I think it looks sort of like apocalypse-y. I don't know.
I'll watch it.
Looks cool. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, because...
I'm so done with zombies, but
Pride and Prejudice, come on.
yeah.
February, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Don't need to say anything
No.
else. February, Zoolander #2, which I really don't care.
I'll watch it.
I will probably watch it
It's
because
probably going to be stupid as shit, but I'm going to watch it.
March, Zootopia. Is that Pixar? Or is it just Disney?
Just Disney, I
Just
believe.
Disney? Yeah, it looks cool.
I'm in it for Peter Moosebridge.
Yeah.
I'm in it for Peter Moosebridge because they got Peter Mansbridge to be in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great. March, Allegiant. I enjoyed the first two. I thought they were fun movies, and I really like Shailene Woodley. I think she's awesome. So, gonna watch that. Gonna enjoy it too. March, Dawn of Justice.
I still don't know how I feel about this movie.
I'm gonna love this movie. I don't even care.
I really don't know how I feel about this movie. I'm gonna watch it. I may enjoy it. I still don't know how I feel about it right now, though. I won't know until it's over.
Yeah. April, we have Jungle Book, directed by Jon Favreau, which he's pretty good usually. He puts good things together and has a great cast too.
Yeah.
And
Idris Elba.
yeah, Idris Elba, definitely. So that is gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how it is. Ratchet and Clank, yeah, I was right. April, Ratchet and Clank movie comes out same time as the game. That'll be interesting. Been in the works for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that they haven't gone with like, you know, bigger name celebrity voices for the main characters.
Yeah.
They still have James Arnold Taylor and David Kaye.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me happy. 'Cause I hate when they fucking recast somebody to make them a more marketable person or whatever, right?
Yeah. Nobody cares. I wonder about the marketing for that movie though. Like, are they even going to market it, or is it just going to hit theaters for a week and then be on DVD or Netflix?
Who knows?
And is it going to be included with the game? Probably
That'd be
not.
interesting.
May, we have Civil War, which is promising to be quite the film. I'm excited to see Spider-Man. This guy's probably not.
I'm worried that it's just going to be a clusterfuck of people, though.
Yeah.
Like,
but honestly, look at what we've gotten. Like, they keep their stories flowing, right? Like,
they do, but I mean,
it's tight.
I don't know. I'm gonna see it. I'm probably gonna enjoy the shit out of it, but
Yeah.
I'm starting to think like maybe it might be just too much.
Yeah.
We also have X-Men versus Ivanhoes.
Yep.
X-Men versus Poe Dameron Ivanhoes.
X-Men Apocalypse. It's gonna be good.
I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with it, and that's their Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Because I cannot look at her and not think of Sansa from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I look, and I want to think she's a member of the X-Men. She's Jean Grey. She's standing there with Cyclops. No, she's Sansa Stark. That's it.
I know, that's always tough. It's always tough.
I mean,
like any movie that Daniel Radcliffe's ever been in, it's like, oh, Harry Potter's in this movie.
yeah, exactly. There's some people you just can't separate the characters sometimes.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not the same for everybody, but for me, it's gonna hurt my viewing of it.
She definitely is unique looking too. Like,
Yeah.
that puts a hamper on it. Like, Daniel Radcliffe definitely unique looking. Like, it's the unique people. Oh, camera turned off. That's okay.
Last bit. Let's go. Go.
So we got June, Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
It looks like more fun than the first one.
Yeah,
I'll
it does.
watch it.
I agree. Conjuring 2. I like horror, and I liked the first one. Let's see what happens there. Warcraft, because that's apparently happening.
It's been happening for a while. It's just they finally actually
Got around to it.
Yeah.
Independence Day. I put Independence Day Insurgent.
That would be a hilarious mashup.
Independence Day because
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch it because Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
That's the whole reason.
I'm gonna enjoy it just because of Jeff Goldblum.
Yep.
July Ghostbusters.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it's a reboot, just because the original Ghostbusters won't exist in this world. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. He was saying earlier, we had this discussion. We're just miffed that, like, we don't hate that it's like a new cast or that it's all women or that it's so far from the original. It's just that the Ghostbusters, that as we knew them, don't exist anymore. At least in this world.
Like, I'd have been totally fine if it was like a passing the torch. Like, even if just Dan Aykroyd, for instance, showed up for like 5 seconds at the beginning, being like, "Congratulations, you're a new franchise of the Ghostbusters. Here's your proton packs. Get the fuck out of my office."
Yeah.
Right?
Or even like some of the chicks just talk about the Ghostbusters of past.
Yeah.
And how that they took over for them. That'd be great.
Yeah, you don't even need to have the old guys in there. Just acknowledge that they were.
Yeah.
And I would be, my tune would completely change about the movie.
Yeah. Star Trek Beyond, or Star Trek sci-fi movie, obviously.
It's not Star Trek.
Yeah.
It might be a good movie. It's not Star Trek.
Yeah, I guess we gotta wait to actually see. But
right now it's Star Trek Sabotage!
August, Suicide Squad. I'm incredibly excited.
Yeah, no, I'm still looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Even though Batfleck's in it. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I still have to see whether or not he's any good.
As time's been going on, I've been really, really looking forward to him. He, at least in the trailers, looks like great, like super good. Obviously, that's kind of a given. Super good Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting a bit more convinced with him being the Dark Knight Returns style Batman.
I just think it's dumb to have old angry Batman at the start of your Justice League.
It is strange, though. You're right, but yeah,
I don't like. I was one of the first people to say Ben Affleck is Batman. Fuck it, whatever, sure.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I mean, he basically already did that when he was playing Daredevil.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just I don't know. I'm so conflicted right now. I'll see when Dawn of Justice comes out how good he is, and then I will decide whether or not I'm looking forward to him being in fucking Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But
well, he only has small bits.
I know, but still,
it's Justice League coming in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
I
don't know. These DC movies, they have yet to sell me.
There's only been one, so.
Yeah, and they have yet to sell me, but they're already planning for bigger and better things. So yeah. I'm cautious.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. I like Batman.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be good too. It's just going to be weird. Like, it does seem like a bad decision having old and angry Batman going into Justice League. So, I don't know. Although I'm curious, maybe Justice League existed before that movie and they sort of pick up in the middle of the existence of Justice League. Probably not, because it's Dawn of Justice, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll see how it goes.
September, it looks like there's absolutely nothing that I was interested in because there's nothing there. October, Gambit.
Don't disappoint me, Channing Tatum. You have yet to disappoint me in anything I've seen you in, except that G.I. Joe movie, but that was a disappointment to everyone for every reason.
And it wasn't because of you.
No, it wasn't your fault. But you have yet to disappoint me in anything you've been in. You are purportedly a big fan of Gambit. Don't fuck this up.
Also, a movie called Girl on the Train, based on a book by the same name. It promises to be very Hitchcockian. That's a great word, Hitchcockian. Yeah, you can expect sort of a Rear Window kind of thing going on, I believe. And I'm excited to see that. November, Doctor Strange.
I still think there could have been better casting choices, but I mean, he looks good in the fucking costume. So.
I was actually super surprised. Like, he looks really good. And he's a great actor, and I'm sure it's going to be great. It's cool to have him a part of the Marvel Universe, so... yeah.
I just think Cumberbatch is overused, but, you know, I mean...
Overused? Everybody says that, and I don't get it. What the fuck has he been in? He's Sherlock.
He's been in a lot of movies. Honestly, they're movies that I haven't watched just because it's like... I don't know. He started to suddenly just kind of be everywhere.
That's what happened to actors when they get discovered.
I know.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, also November. I'm very excited for that. We get Wizarding World in like New York, all over America. That'll be interesting to see. December, apparently there's an Ass Creed movie coming out.
Yay.
I don't know, the actor's good. I forget what his name was. Yeah, fuck, what is he?
Wait, is that the one that Fassbender's in?
Yeah, Fassbender.
Okay, yeah, I'll see that. Fassbender's okay. Oh yeah, now I remember because there was that fucking great Photoshop somebody did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
I'll probably enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
Jumanji remake, which is kind of disconcerting, but it'll probably be fun. I hope that they go like Star Wars and use practical effects and not shitty CGI.
City CGI.
City CGI, yeah.
City CGI.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And finally...
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Great and popular book. Very interesting. Kind of eerie and really fun. I'm really excited to see that. I'm halfway through the book, so yeah.
I don't know the book.
It's pretty cool. It's like this kid's grandpa, everybody thinks he's like senile, but he keeps talking about like these crazy things that are after him, and he's been like hiding, and then all of a sudden he like goes outside the house and gets fucking killed one day, and the kid's like, what? And the grandpa says like these random like code word things. Dave, I can't remember what it was, but it like leads him to this like weird island that's got like no connection to the outside world really. It's still like people just chilling in the one bar, kind of like your hometown. Then he like finds this old building that sort of leads him to this weird like alternate dimension thing, and his grandpa was a part of the people in that alternate dimension, and they like do all these weird crazy sort of like powerful things. Like they have these weird powers, like this like little girl is like super strong, she lifts boulders and stuff. So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it's weird and really cool. It's part of a trilogy. Third book just came out, so yeah, I'm excited for that. And that's the segment because our camera's been off for about 6 minutes. So
Yeah, it seems legit.
cool. All right, so that's the end of our first bunch of podcasts all in one, and you'll be able to see this all together in one on Sunday. And it should be the same for the coming weeks.
Except we should actually have more footage in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll get better at this.
We might just stick someone behind the camera at all times so that they can turn it back on when it turns off.
Yeah, and warn us of time limits and stuff and all that.
I mean, it'd be alright if we like lose footage for a second and they start it back up, right?
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Yeah. So we can do it that way.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll end up being this long every time. We had a lot to talk about because we were kind of covering an entire year here.
Yeah.
This one's probably ending up 2 hours or so. It's pretty long. We're aiming for like an hour 15. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Sam just waved almost.
I went like this. Except, hold up.
Goodbye.